A pleasant day to all of you future mathematics teachers. This day we'll be discussing the first part of Unit 4 for the core Sem 6 or the plane and solid geometry. And this is all about circles. Let us first define what circle is all about. A circle is a plane figure actually that which is the most perfect figure known kasi nga yung kanyang center is equidistant to any points in the circle. The aim of this presentation for today is for you to understand and know the vocabulary for parts of the circle. Let us discuss one by one the different parts of the circle. So this is the circumference of the circle. Yung buo na yan, ang tawag natin dyan ay circumference of the circle, yung gilid. While this is the diameter. The diameter is a line segment whose endpoints are both in the circle that passes through the center of the circle. Yan. So there's the definition. The circumference of a circle is the distance around the outside of a circle, while the diameter of the circle is the distance from one side to other passing through the center of the circle. Yung center of the circle, ito yung pinakagitna, and also it is a point kung saan natin pinapangalanan ang circle. So if the name of the point or if the name of the center of the circle is A, then we call it circle A. Then this is the radius. A radius is a line segment. Radius is a line segment from the center to any point of the circle, and all the radii of a circle of the same circle are congruent. Then that's the chord. Yan. A chord is a line touching the circumference of the circle at 2 points. Ibig sabihin, para rin siyang diameter pero hindi siya dumaan sa center. So that means ang diameter is also a chord. Actually, ang diameter is the longest chord of the circle. Yan nga lang, naging special siya because it passes through the center of the circle. And then the definition of the radius is the line connecting the center of the circle and the circumference. Then, this blue one is what we call the sector, and that is the arc. Later on, we'll be discussing different types of arcs na napo-form sa circle. A sector is the part of a circle between two radii and an arc. Ito yon yung, kumbaga ito yung pizza pie, no? From the center, nakabuo tayo ng dalawang nagkaroon tayo ng dalawang radii. Ayan, tapos nakabuo siya ng sector. While an arc is the part of the circumference at the edge of a sector. Ito naman, yung blue one, that is what we call the segment. Segment na ang tawag natin doon, ano? And then, this is the tangent. A segment is the part of a circle between a chord and an arc. So, ito, chord siya. Tapos, pag kinuha natin yung buong part na yan, kasama yung buong blue na yan, then that is what we call segment of the circle. While a tangent is a straight line which touches a circle at one point only. And that point of intersection is what we call the point of tangency. So kung dalawang beses naman, like for example, yung chord, pag in-extend natin yung chord, magiging line siya, it touches the circle into two distinct points. So that line is what we call a secant. So for your task, copy the two diagrams carefully into your notebook, then label your two diagrams using the words below. Kailangan tama yung label, ano? Parang yung relasyon nyo, dapat tama yung label. Baka mamaya, friends lang pala kayo, iba yung label mo, hirap yun. And then, another task is to match up the word with the correct definition. So these are the words at the left side: radius, chord, diameter, arc, segment, circumference, sector, and tangent. And at the right side are the definitions, correct definitions. Please match them up. Please write this in clean sheet of paper, then attach it into your portfolio. So you already have 2 assignments upon viewing this video presentation. We move on to another extension problem. So tatlo pala, bale, no? Tatlo pa lang, meron pa mamaya-maya. Extension problems: draw a circle with radius 4 centimeters. What is the length of the diameter of the circle? How many sectors of 90 degrees will fit inside the circle? Draw 5 radii inside your circle that are equally spaced out around the circumference. Then join up the ends of the radii to create a shape inside your circle. What is the name of the shape that you have created inside your circle? How long are the chords that are joining the radii together? How big is the angle of each sector? If you did the same as above with sectors of 45 degrees, what shape would you create inside your circle? So you have 3 tasks already. Please do it in a clean sheet of paper. If you want to color it, you may do so, and then attach it into your SEM 6 portfolio. How about the arcs of a circle? Let's focus with the arcs of a circle. By the way, an arc consists of 2 points on a circle and all points needed to connect the points by a single path. Yun yung arc. Here are samples. The center of an arc is the center of the circle, of which the arc is a part. So ito yung center nung arc na ito. Then the center of this arc is this one. Then this is the center of this arc. By the way, we have different types of arcs. If the measurement of arc is less than 180 degrees, meaning mas mababa siya sa kalahati ng circle, ang tawag natin doon ay minor arc. Kapag naman sumobra siya sa kalahati ng circle, ang tawag na natin doon ay major arc. Kapag naman eksakto na kalahati siya ng circle, then ang tawag natin doon ay semi-circle. So those are the 3 different types of arcs that we have. So this first one is an example of minor arc. This is a major arc, and this is an example of semi-circle. The 3 different types of arcs. So mathematically, the meaning of minor arc is it is an arc whose measure is greater than 0 degrees but less than 180 degrees. While a major arc is an arc whose measure is greater than 180 degrees but less than 360 degrees. Because if it is equal to 360 degrees already, that's not an arc anymore but a circle. Then a semicircle is an arc whose measure is exactly 180 degrees. Central angle, an angle whose vertex is at the center of a circle. Radii OA and OB determine central angle. In here, so we have 2 radii here. Nung nilagay natin siya doon sa circle, naka-form tayo ng angle. So dahil nga mga radii yan, ibig sabihin, ang kanilang point of intersection ay ang center. Kaya siya tinawag ngayon na central angle dahil ito ay angle formed by 2 joining radii na ang vertex ay center of the circle. So we have here an example of central angle formed by 2 radii of the circle where the center is at point O and the center of the circle, which is the center of the circle. Minor arc, an arc whose points are on or between the side of a central angle. Ayan. So this is a central angle AP and then BP, 2 radii. Ito yung central angle natin. Ang intercepted arc niya ay arc AB. So sabi, kapag daw itong ating central angle ay merong intercepted arc, yon ang tawag natin doon ay minor arc. Kasi nandoon siya sa, it is on or between the side of a central angle, kaya siya minor arc. Central angle ABB determines minor arc AB. Minor arcs are named with 2 letters. And then major arc, an arc whose points are on or outside of a central angle. So kung nandito yung central angle natin, nandito sa likod yung major arc. Okay, like this. So ang central angle natin dito si CQD. So ang ating major arc nandito sa may likod ni CQD. Central angle CQD determines major arc CFD. Major arcs are named with 3 letters. Or sometimes, pwede rin na 4 kung talagang maraming mga letters na nakakalito, no? Okay. Semicircle, mas pinakamadali ito because a semicircle is an arc whose endpoints of a diameter. Arc EF is a semicircle. Kalahati siya ng circle. We move on to the measure of an arc. Minor arc or semicircle, the measure is the same as the central angle that intercepts the arc. So kung ano yung measurement ng central angle, yun din ang measurement ng minor arc. Kapag naman, tulad dito, so ang central angle natin dito 120, so ang minor arc 120 din. So our central angle here is 90, so the minor arc or intercepted arc is 90 degrees also. This is a semicircle, so the measurement of a line is 180 degrees. Kaya ang semicircle is also 180 degrees. Here we have a central angle whose measure is 30 degrees. So the measure of the intercepted arc is also 30 degrees. Major arc. The measure of the arc is 30, 60 minus the measure of the minor arc with the same endpoints. So bakit 360? Because the measurement of one full circle is 360 degrees. Kaya nga pag sinabi, paikutin kita ng 360 degrees, nakabuo ka ng isang ikot, ng isang bilog. So para makuha mo yung major arc, isubtract mo lang yung measurement ng central angle doon sa 360 degrees, then you'll have the measurement of the major arc. Here is an example. Given that the measurement of the minor arc is 20 degrees, so ibig sabihin ang central angle natin is also 20 degrees. Subtract mo lang yan, 360 minus 20 is equal to 340 degrees. Then we move on to the congruent arcs. Pag sinabi natin congruent arcs, magkamukhang arcs. Kailan nagiging magkamukha ang arcs? 2 arcs that have the same measure are not necessarily congruent arcs. Hindi porke magkamukha yung measurement ng mga arcs, magkamukha na yung dalawang arcs na yun, ano? So like for example, in here, pareha sila ng intercepted angle, pareha sila ng central angle na intercept. So 65 yon yung central angle. That means this arc is also 65 degrees and this arc is also 65 degrees. Magkaiba sila, magkamukha silang 65 degrees pero hindi sila magkasinlaki. Why? Because hindi magkasinlaki yung kanilang circle. So ibig sabihin, hindi lahat ng magkamukha ang measurement na arcs ay congruent arcs. It depends upon the size of the circle. 2 arcs are congruent whenever they have the same measure and are parts of the same circle or congruent circle. Magiging magkamukha lang sila kung yung dalawang circles ay magkamukha o magkasing laki o kaya naman yung circle na yon ay iisa lang. So we may conclude that in here, AB is 60, then CD is 60 also. So pwede natin sabihin dahil nasa isang circle lang sila, kung si AB ay 60 at si CD ay 60, they are congruent. Arc AB is congruent to arc CD. Pero dito sa una nating example, arc AB is not congruent to arc CD because they are of different circle, of 2 different circles. Another example here, If circle P is congruent to circle Q, magkamukha, magkasinlaki, magkasukat, we may conclude that arc EF is congruent to arc GH. Ganun lang. Sa ganung paraan lang natin pwedeng sabihin that the two arcs are congruent. Kung sila ay naglalay into the same circle or yung dalawang circle na kino-compare ay magkamukha, congruent. These are the theorems of arcs, chords, and angles. Theorem 79. If two central angles of a circle or of congruent circles are congruent, then their intercepted arcs are congruent. So kung magkamukha yung dalawang central angle, then yung intercepted arc nila magkamukha na rin. Theorem 80, if two arcs of a circle or of congruent circles are congruent, then the corresponding central angles are congruent. So kung ito naman daw ang magkamukha, si arc RS is congruent to arc QP, then their two intercepted angles, central angles are congruent also. Then theorem 81. If two central angles of a circle or of congruent circles are congruent, then the corresponding chords are congruent. So kapag daw yung dalawang central angle na ito, ayan, ay magkamukha, and then kapag nag-draw tayo dito ng chord, magkamukha na rin yun dahil magkamukha yung dalawang central angle. Then theorem 82, if two chords of a circle are congruent, then the corresponding central angles are congruent. Kabaliktaran naman, kung yung dalawang chords na yun ang magkamukha, ito si line segment QP and line segment RS are congruent, then the two intercepted central angles are congruent also. Then next, theorem 83. If two arcs of a circle are congruent, then the corresponding chords are congruent. So kanina sa central angle tayo naka-base. This time, we are dealing with the arcs. Arc QP is congruent to arc RS, so that these two chords are also congruent. Then theorem 84, if two chords of a circle or of congruent circles are congruent, then the corresponding arcs are also congruent. So binaliktad naman, ngayon, chords naman ang magkamukha, then the intercepted corresponding arcs are also congruent. Suppose that we have this problem. If the measure of arc AB is equal to 102 degrees in circle O, find measure of angle A and measure of angle B in triangle AOB. So sabi, since arc AB is equal to 102 degrees, then AOB is equal to 102 degrees. Ito siya. So this is angle AOB. Angle AOB. AOB is also 102 degrees. Ito yung measurement ni RAB, 102 degrees. Ang hinahanap natin ngayon ay measurement ni angle A at saka angle B. So in here, dahil central angle ito at ang intercepted arc niya ay 102 degrees, so this is 102 degrees already. Angle O is equal to 102 degrees. Then the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. That's right. So if you add angle A plus angle B plus angle O, the measurement is equal to 180 degrees. Since we already have a measurement of angle O, ang nawawala na lang ay measurement ni angle A at ni angle B. So ilan na lang ang natitira para sa 180 degrees? We still have 78 degrees. Yun yung pagkakatian ni A at saka ni B. So here is our equation. You add angle A plus angle B plus angle AOB, that is equal to 180 degrees. And then we substitute the value of measure of angle AOB, so you will have the equation number 2. And then we solve for angle A and angle B. We do the addition property for equation. We add negative 102 to both sides of the equation, so you will have 180 minus 102, which is equal to 78. So 3, OA is equal to OB. We know that OA is equal to OB because OA and OB are both radii of the circle. So kung nangyari yon, applying the theorem, kung si OA at saka si OB ay magkamukha, then ibig sabihin si angle A is congruent to angle B. Kung congruent si angle A at si angle B at 78 degrees na lang ang titira, paghahatian na nila ngayon yon. So 78 divided by 2 is equal to 39 para maging magkamukha si angle A at saka si angle B. So if you want to check, so you just add 39 plus 39 plus 102. The sum is equal to 180 degrees, which is the sum of the interior angles of a triangle. Let us have another example here. Given circle P and circle Q. So we have your circle P. That means P is the center here and Q is the center here. Then angle P, another given, or angle P is congruent to angle Q, and line segment AR is congruent to line segment RD. So angle P, this angle is congruent to this angle. Then AR, A to R is congruent to R to D. So these two segments are congruent. What we have to prove here is the congruency between arc AB here, arc AB here, and arc CD. So ipoprove natin that these two are two congruent arcs. So the first thing that we have to do is to prove that circle P is congruent to circle Q. Yun muna yung i-prove natin. Ano? So our first statement would be circles P and Q. And that's given. Diba? We have two circles, the circles P and Q. Then angle P and angle Q are congruent. Our reason is still given. Given naman talaga yun, that angle P is congruent to angle Q. Then RP is congruent to RQ. Where is RP? RP is congruent to RQ. What is our reason here? Because if a triangle, if the two angles of a triangle are congruent, then the opposite sides are also congruent. So, kasi si angle P at saka si angle Q congruent. So, yung opposite side kay Q at yung opposite side kay P, they are also congruent. Nasa rule natin yon. Ano? And then AR is congruent to RD. Given yon. AR is congruent to RD. Then AP is congruent to DQ. Paano natin nasabi that AP, A to P is congruent to DQ? Ano ang magiging reason natin dyan? By subtraction property. Dahil si RP at saka si RQ ay magkamukha, tapos si RA at saka si RD ay magkamukha, ibig sabihin pag sinubtract mo si RA kay RP, yung matitira na segment is congruent to the difference between RQ and RD. Kaya, subtraction property. So we may say that AP is congruent to DQ. So, circle P is congruent to circle Q. So, pwede na natin sabihin na si circle P at si circle Q ay magkamukha dahil magkamukha na si AP at saka si DQ. And take note that AP and DQ are both radii silang pareho ng magkaibang circle. At kapag magkamukha ang radii ng dalawang circles, then the two circles are congruent. Ibig sabihin, kung 10 inches yung radius ng isang circle at 10 inches din yung radius ng isa pang circle, then these two circles are congruent. Ayan. So, our reason would be circles with congruent radii are congruent. So, na-prove na natin that the two circles are congruent. Arc AB now is congruent to arc CD. Ito yung kailangan nating i-prove, ano? So, pwede na nating sabihin na si arc AB is congruent to arc DC. What would be our reason? If two central angles of congruent circles are congruent, then their intercepted arcs are congruent also. Okay? So, kasi sabi natin kanina dito, angle P and angle Q are congruent. And these two are both central angles of the circle. Tapos alam na natin that these two circles are congruent. So, pwede natin sabihin that arc AB and arc BC are also congruent. And then problem solved na tayo. Okay? So, let us deal a little bit deeper on angles in circles. Yan. Central angle, i-define ulit natin, is an angle whose vertex is the center of the circle. Central angle of a circle, ayan yun. Tulad ng sinabi natin kanina. And this is not a central angle. But hindi siya central angle because the vertex of the angle is not on the center of the circle. Masasabi lang natin na siya ay central angle if and only if the vertex of the circle is in the center of, masasabi lang natin na siya ay central angle if the vertex of the angle is in the center of the circle. Central angles and arcs. Yeah. So measure of angle L is equal to k degrees. Nasabi na natin yan, ano? The measure of a central angle is equal to the measure of the intercepted arc. And then the measure of a central angle is equal to the measure of the intercepted arc. If the measure of this angle is 110 degrees, ibig sabihin yung kanyang intercepted arc ay 110 degrees din. Let us have an example here. Example, how can we apply the theorems or the properties of the intercepted arc ng isang central angle. Suppose that we have here a circle with unknown variables. Segment AD is a diameter, then find the values of x and y and c in the figure. Nawawala dito si x, si y at saka si z. Madali natin masosolve si x at saka si z. Why? Because here, with respect to x degrees, meron ng measurement yung kanyang intercepted arc which is equal to 25 degrees. And we know that the measurement of the intercepted arc of a central angle is equal to the measurement of the angle itself. So kung si arc AB ay 25 degrees, then x is equal to 25 degrees also. Ganon din kay arc CD. Si Z is also 55 degrees since this angle measures 55 degrees. Paano naman si Y? Paano natin masolve si Y? So we know that AD is a diameter. So nakaform sila ng semicircle. Ibig sabihin, pag in-add natin yung tatlong angles na to, the sum is equal to 180 degrees. Meron na tayong x, which is 25. Meron na tayong z, which is 55. When you add up 55 and 25, you will have 80 degrees. And then 180 degrees minus 80 degrees is equal to 100 degrees. And that would be the measure of y. So there you go. The measurements are x equals 25 degrees, y equals 100, and c equals 55 degrees. The sum of central angles. The sum of the measure of the central angles of a circle with no interior points in common is 360 degrees. Pag sinama mo lahat ng mga central angles ng isang circle, ang sum niyan ay 360 degrees. Okay, let us have another example here. Find the measure of each arc. So this central angle measures 4x, this is 2x minus 14, this is 2x, this is 3x plus 10, and this is 3x. Ang hinahanap natin ay measurement of each arc. Pero hindi natin makukuha yon kung hindi muna natin isosolve ang measurement of the central angle. So para masolve natin ang measurement of the central angle, lahat yan, di ba? Lahat yan, pag sinama-sama natin yan, ang measurement niyan 360 degrees. 4x plus 3x plus 3x plus 10 plus 2x minus 14 is equal to 360 degrees. Then simplifying it further, you will have 4x plus 3x plus 3x is 10x plus 2x is 12x plus 2x is 14x. Then 10 minus 14 is negative 4. By addition property of equation, you add positive 4 to both sides of the equation, so you will have 14x equals 364. Then divide the whole equation by 14 to solve for x. 14x divided by 14 is x. Then 364 divided by 26 is equal to 26. And then to determine the measurement of the central angles, you simply substitute the value of x into all of this. So let's start with the 3x. So that's 3 times, we start with 4x. So 4 times 26 is equal to 104. So if this is 104, then arc ED is also 104 degrees. Next is 3x. So that's 3 times 26. So you will have 78. So this central angle measures 78 degrees. So arc EA is also 78 degrees. How about 3x plus 10? So that's 78 plus 10. That's 88. There, 88. So this central angle is 88. Then arc AB is 88. Then 2 times x. 2 times 26 is 52. So CB is 52 also. Here we have 52 minus 14. 52 minus 14 is equal to 38. So arc CD is equal to 38. If you want to check whether your answer is right or wrong, you simply add all these measurements and make sure that the sum is equal to 360 degrees. Let us try. 104 plus 78 plus 88 plus 52 plus 38 is equal to 360 degrees. So that means the answer or the value of x that we get is correct. Inscribed angles. So tapos na tayo doon sa central angle. We move on to inscribed angles. What do we mean by inscribed angles? So itong unang figure, hindi siya inscribed angle. Yung pangalawa, inscribed angle siya. The third one is not an inscribed angle. Instead, this is a central angle. And then, yung pang-apat is also an example of inscribed angle. From these figures, how can we define inscribed angles? An inscribed angle is an angle whose vertex is on a circle and whose sides contain chords. So, dapat daw yung kanyang vertex ay nandito sa circumference ng circle para siya ay matawag na inscribed angle. Ito, yung number 3, yung figure number 3, hindi siya inscribed angle, central angle siya. Ito naman ang tinatawag nating interior angle because it's an angle formed inside the circle. So, ang inscribed angles lang dito ay yung 2 at 4. Okay. Let us have the different theorems with respect to inscribed angles. The measure of an inscribed angle is equal to 1/2 the measure of the intercepted arc. Kanina sa central angle, kung ano ang measurement ng arc, yun ang measurement ng central angle. Dito sa inscribed angle, para makuha mo yung measurement niya, i-divide mo sa 2 yung intercepted arc. Ganun lang, i-divide mo sa 2. So, example, para makuha mo yung measurement ni L, yung measure of angle L, i-divide mo si K sa 1/2. Yon. The measure of an inscribed angle is equal to 1/2 the measure of the intercepted arc. Yeah. Yan. So these are the illustrations na pinakita natin yung central angle. So hinati mo yung central angle, yun lang ang measurement ng inscribed angle dahil magkamukha naman sila ng intercepted arc. Another inscribed angle theorem. The measure of an inscribed angle is equal to 1/2 the measure of the intercepted arc. The intercepted arc here is 110. So to get the measurement of the inscribed angle, you divide 110 by 2. So the answer is 55 degrees. So let us have this exercise. If you want to give a try, just post this video and try computing for yourself, computing for the value of x and y. Then if you want to check if your answer is right or wrong, just continue playing the video. in this problem, we have two unknown variables, x degrees and y degrees. So we can already solve for x degrees because the intercepted arc is being defined already, and that is equal to 40 degrees. So kung 40 degrees yung intercepted arc ni x, ibig sabihin si x ay 20 degrees. So 20 degrees na yung si x. And then in here, PSR is equal to 50. So 50 yung buo na yan, ano? 50 yung buong angle na yan. Pero dahil si PQ ay 40 na, ang nawawala na lang ay si QR. So paano natin makukuha si QR? Kailangan kasi yung intercepted arc ni PSR ay maging 100, maging times 2, no? Dahil 50 ito, times 2, 100. Kung meron na tayong 40, ilan pa ang nawawala doon sa 100? So 100 minus 40 is 60. So that means y degrees is equal to 60 degrees. Okay, let us have another exercise. Again, if you wanna give a try, just pause the video and then continue if you wanna check your answer. Find the value of x and y in the figure. So take note that x and y here are congruent. Why? Because they have the same intercepted arc and they are both inscribed angles. And in here, QSR is also an inscribed angle which is congruent to x and y also. If this angle measures 50 degrees, then this intercepted arc is equal to 100 degrees. So that means x and y are also 50 degrees, the both of them. An angle formed by a chord and a tangent can be considered an inscribed angle. Kahit na nasa labas na si tangent, doon na siya naka-form, considered pa rin siya na inscribed angle. Kaya ang ginagamit natin para makuha yung measurement niya ay 1/2 pa rin nung K, nung kanilang intercepted arc. So ito yung kanilang intercepted arc, kunin mo yung 1/2 niyan, then that is the measurement of the given angle. Inscribed angle pa rin siya, no? So an angle formed by a chord and a tangent can be considered an inscribed angle. So measure of angle PRQ. So ito yung chord natin, tapos ito yung tangent natin. Naka-form sila ng angle, and this angle is still considered an example of inscribed angle. So para makuha mo yung angle na yan, i-divide mo lang yung arc PR sa 1/2. An angle inscribed in a semicircle is a right angle, of course, because semicircle measures 180 degrees and 1/2 of 180 degrees is equal to 90 degrees. Kaya laging right angle yung inscribed angle ng isang semicircle. We move on to the interior angles. Ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina na interior angles. Wala siya sa center, wala siya sa circle, kaya nasa loob siya ng circle. Ang tawag sa kanya ay interior angles. Angles that are formed by two intersecting chords, vertex in the circle. So merong emphasis doon sa word na in. Ibig sabihin, nasa loob kasi yung angle. Kasi merong mga pagkakataon, mamaya kapag meron tayong tangent at saka chord o secant, nakakabuo sila ng angle outside the circle. Magkaiba yon. Kapag nasa loob nabubuo ang angle, yan, tulad niya, mga angles na yan, angle 1 and 2, ang tawag natin dyan interior angles. Okay. And then, syempre meron tayong interior angle theorem. The measure of angle L here is equal to 1/2 of the sum of the two intercepted arcs. Para makuha mo yung measurement ng angle na nasa loob, kuhanin mo yung sum ng dalawang intercepted arc. I-add mo yung measurement ng dalawang intercepted arc, then i-divide mo yun sa 2, then that is the measurement of the interior angle. The measure of the angle formed by the two chords is equal to 1/2 the sum of the measures of the intercepted arcs. Okay, let us have an illustration. Nawawala si angle 1. Dito nawawala si angle 1. Para makuha mo si angle 1, i-add mo si arc AC, saka si arc BB, saka mo i-divide sa 2. Ayan. You multiply it by 1/2. Okay, let us have an example here. The missing variables are x and y. So we can solve for x first because the two intercepted arcs of this interior angle is given already, given. So you have 91 plus 85, you add the 2 to get the x. 95 plus 85, so 176. That is 176. Then we divide 176 by 2. So the answer is 88. So our x is equal to 88 degrees. And then to solve for y, we know that x and y are linear pair. When we say linear pair, their sum is equal to 180 degrees. So you just subtract 88 from 180 degrees to get the value of y, which is equal to 92 degrees. We move on to the exterior angles. Ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina na hindi lang sa loob nabubuo ang angles, kundi nakakabuo rin tayo ng angle sa labas. Okay? Using a chord and a tangent, a secant and a tangent. An angle formed by two secants, two tangents, or a secant and a tangent drawn from a point outside the circle or vertex out of the circle. Kung kanina ina-add natin yung intercepted arcs, in here, kapag sa labas na buo yung mga angles, isinusubtract natin yung measurement ng dalawang arcs. Siyempre, malaki minus maliit divided by 2 para makuha natin yung measurement ng intercepted arc, because the measurement of an angle is always positive. Sa geometry sa geometry, ang measurement ng angle ay laging positive. Hindi naman katulad sa trigonometry na meron tayong mga negative values ng angles. But in here, sa geometry, always positive ang ating angles. Kaya inuuna natin yung mas malaking angle kapag tayo ay nagsusubtract. Ay inuuna natin yung mas malaking arc kapag tayo ay nagsusubtract. Okay. So here, to solve for angle 1, so that is k minus j divided by 2. Here, to solve for 1, that is k minus j minus divided by 2. To solve for 1, that is k minus j divided by 2. Ganun lang kadali, ano? Tatandaan nyo, kapag sa loob nabubuo yung angle, nag-a-add. Saka mo i-divide sa 2. Kapag sa labas nabubuo yung angle, nagsusubtract, saka mo i-divide sa 2. Yun lang yung pagkakaiba. Kapag sa loob, addition. Kapag sa labas nabuo, subtraction. That's it. Exterior angle theorem. The measure of the angle formed is equal to 1/2 the difference of the intercepted arcs. Yan. The measure of angle 1 is 1/2 of the quantity of k minus j. Let us have this example. If you want to try, just pause the video. If you want to check your answer, whether it's right or wrong, continue playing. So, ang nawawala dito ay measurement ng angle C. So, take note, sa labas na buo yung ating angle. So, the operation is subtraction. So, we have two intercepted arcs here, whose measures are 265. So 265 minus 95. 265 minus 95 is 170. Then divide it by 2. So the answer is 85 degrees. So angle C is equal to 85 degrees. That's right. Inscribe quadrilaterals. Kung merong quadrilateral sa loob ng isang circle, then the opposite angles are supplementary. Ibig sabihin ng supplementary, when you add, the sum of that two angles is equal to 180 degrees. Alin ang opposite angles? S and Q are opposite angles. Totoo naman, ano? Kasi ang intercepted arc nito ay mula kay P, QR. Yan. And then while the intercepted arc of angle QI mula kay PSR. And when you add the two arcs, you will form a circle. So basically, pag pinagsama mo yung measurement ng dalawang angles na ito, that is 1/2 of 360, which is 180 degrees, at kaya sila ay supplementary. The same is true with P and R, since they are also opposite angles. Angle P and angle R are supplementary angles. So that would be all for the first part of Unit 4 in SEM 6, the plane and solid geometry. If you have any questions and clarifications with respect or with regards to what we discussed today, please feel free to send a message in our group chat, SEM 6 BSE 2B. Once again, thank you very much everyone. Keep safe and healthy. Walang lalabas dahil sa classroom ay may batas.